now we need to understand what is coagulation cascade. That is most important because all the hemostats globally available, they work either in some part of coagulation cascade, either by mimicking, as I said, or by maybe accelerating or by stimulating. Okay, so let me give you an understanding of what is coagulation cascade, how the body reacts to the bleeding, and then how the other hemostats are fitted into that cascade. So the first is whenever there is a cut, incision, injury, bleeding, immediately what happens, happens a vasoconstrictions. The vessels constrict. Then what happens? Your platelet plug formation happens. So there is a enzyme called thromboplastin that gets activated, which activates the platelet. So one platelet will attract another platelet. They'll come together, which is called as a platelet plug formation. Okay, once the platelet plug formation has happened, so that is also a mechanical barrier that also somehow controls the bleeding. Then what happens is that there is a two process that starts, intrinsic and extrinsic. These two pathways, intrinsic pathway, extrinsic pathway, they will activate factor 10 to factor 10A. I hope I'm simple. Factor 10 to factor 10A. The factor 10A will immediately convert the prothrombin to thrombin. And the thrombin in its terms immediately convert the fibrinogen to fibrin. So prothrombin to thrombin conversion happens in presence of calcium, iron. And the fibrinogen gets converted to fibrin, and then the factor 13 stabilizes the fibrin and does a cross-linking of the meshes. So this is the whole process that body does or body reacts to any kind of bleeding. Okay. Now how all other products fits into this? This is very important to understand if we need to understand the surgical market, if we need to understand how hemostat works to control bleeding. So as I said, again I repeat, is that first is there is a cut, injury, your platelet plug formation, your two pathways getting activated, intrinsic and extrinsic, 10 to 10A, prothrombin to thrombin, fibrinogen to fibrin. And fibrin is a mesh-like structure wherein all blood cells and platelets and debris gets entangled and then a complex clot is formed. Okay, till now it is clear for us. Now, the first generation of hemostats, those which had come for years, like ORCs, Surgicels, or maybe gelatin, all the gelatin, all collagen, how do they work? So they work more on the compression and activation side. That is, when you apply Surgicel or gelatin or collagen, they absorb the blood that is coming out. You give a compression. When you give a compression, they attract the platelets, platelet plug formation, and then they wait for the body to do the coagulation. So that is why they are more effective on the mild to moderate bleeding surface. Okay, because they are only compressing, absorbing, allowing body's coagulation to complete the process, as I mentioned in the before. That platelet plug formation, intrinsic, extrinsic, 10 to 10A, prothrombin, thrombin, fibrinogen to fibrin. It will take a time to control the bleeding. That is why they are not effective in the moderate to severe kind of bleeding. They are more effective in the mild to moderate bleeding. So then there was a need of a hemostat or a product which controls moderate to severe bleeding. Then came the next generation of hemostats like Flowsil from Baxter, Surgiflow from Johnson & Johnson. There are many other products, Arista. All these products fill the gap of moderate to severe bleeding. How they are working? So Flowsil or Surgiflow is a combination of gelatin particle, 500 microns in particle size, and thrombin. So how they are being able to control moderate to severe bleeding? When you apply Flowsil, the gelatin will absorb the blood. They will swell, and they will immediately mechanical barrier to the bleeding. Okay, so one on the coagulation cascade, as I mentioned, that platelet aggregation, there the gelatin is giving a compression and they're initiating the process of cascade. And then what happens that you don't have to wait for entire process to happen. They're giving thrombin from outside. So the thrombin is immediately converting fibrinogen to fibrin. Whatever fibrinogen coming in the blood will get converted to fibrin. So what is happening? One step you are working on the mechanical, that is the gelatin, they are absorbing the blood. On the other stage you are giving thrombin from the outside, so immediate coagulation that happens. So that is why they have been able to control moderate to severe bleeding. And that is how they are different from the generation 1 hemostats, because they are acting on the two surface, two ways or two parts of the coagulation. One is absorption, platelet aggregation, and another is the last stage of the coagulation cascade is a thrombin, converting the fibrinogen to fibrin. I hope I'm being very simple. I hope everyone could understand that how it works. Okay, now I come to our product, that is Axiostat, which is a chitosan. Okay, how it works. So we call it as a next generation hemostat. The reason is that one side, when you apply Axiostat on any bleeding surface or chitosan based Axiostat on any bleeding surface, they are acting same as a mechanical, that absorbing the blood or absorbing the plasma. And then what happens is that even it is not waiting for the coagulation to do the coagulation, it is a charge based. So all chitosan are Axiostat is a cationic, it is positively charged. The moment you are applying one hand, you are giving a compression, you are aggregating the platelets, entire coagulation process starts, and then it automatically bypasses the coagulation and starts attracting blood cells and platelets. So independent of coagulation, immediately attracting blood cells and platelets, and thus because blood cells and platelets are negatively charged, so they get attracted by the Axiostat and they come together, they form a clot, and there is a clot. It stops the bleeding. That is why it is also acting in two ways, independent of the coagulation. That is why it is better than other generation of hemostats, and it has been able to control moderate to severe bleeding. I hope I could maybe you can understand how the coagulation, how the first generation, how the second generation, and how Axiostat. I'll explain Axiostat again. When you apply Axiostat on the bleeding surface, in the surgical areas, wherever there is a bleeding, the moment you apply Axiostat is a positively charged. First, it will absorb the plasma. After absorbing the plasma, it will immediately start attracting the blood cells and platelets which are negatively charged. So then what happens? It attracts all the blood cells and platelets and it forms a clot. It is not even doing that thrombin, the fibrinogen gets converted to fibrin. No, it is not waiting for the process to complete. It start attracting the blood cells and platelets, forming a clot which is faster than any other product. And that is how, what we are saying is that it will do a clotting, or it will do hemostasis much better than any other generation of hemostats. So now I come to again the surgical market. So now we have got an understanding of hemostats, different kinds of hemostat, as I said, mechanical, biological. Now how we are working as. So the advantage of, now I'll tell you the USP of our product as compared to all the hemostats that is there. And then I will go to the market, that what is the surgical market, how the products are being used in surgical market, who are the players, who are the customers, why do they use Axiostat, or maybe why do they use hemostats. So as I said that three kinds of hemostat, mechanical and biological, into that our Axiostat comes into. Now the market is very big, it is growing at a very faster rate, maybe it is growing at a rate of almost 6 CAGR, almost 6%, and the market would be somewhere around 75 to 80 million right now in India, and I'll tell you, there are surgeries, that is, I mean, if I say that what is the market growth factors or driver, is that surgeries are growing, your geriatric populations are growing.